How often is bad behavior going unchecked in your organization? Whether it's ego-driven leadership, anger, refusing to delegate or empower employees, whether it's not listening, appearing to listen to feedback, but not really listening to feedback, and micromanaging or domineering instead of really engaging and empowering your organization, your leaders, your teams. Are you having the courageous conversations with these leaders in order to encourage and even demand that they upgrade and grow their leadership style to become the caring, inspirational, and courageous leaders that you need them to be? And if they're not willing to, help them find a more fitting position. What keeps most CEOs or senior leadership from having these courageous conversations? The primary thing that I hear is that makes leadership turn the other cheek to this type of leadership is the fact that these leaders are bringing in the numbers. And while bringing in the numbers is important, do you really have a pulse on how those teams are truly doing? And are those folks really giving you everything and giving you their best and their best ideas if there is fear and lack of trust and all of these different things going on with leaders in your organization? What I'd like to offer are just a few ideas of how you can approach these courageous conversations with confidence and have positive outcomes. They're not usually easy conversations, and there's a few things that can help. First is to stay centered and grounded. You need to have your energy centered, calm, and focused in order to stay in the moment in these conversations. The second is to be absolutely clear about the reason for the conversation and for the outcome that you're looking for. Lack of clarity on the real issue is why most of these conversations end up going off the rails and fail to deliver the desired outcome. And you really want to come to this with the clarity of observed observations, observed behavior, so that you can share that with the leader you're talking to. The third is to really get curious rather than furious. Come in with the intent to understand before you try to be understood, and observe both what that other leader is saying as well as how they're saying it, what they're not saying, their body language, their energy, and really allow the other person to share their perspectives. And come back to clarity. Share back what you've heard. Make sure that you understand their perspective and their points. Then co-create. The final thing is to really co-create a solution. Really collaborate, brainstorm on what the next steps are that will lead to the desired outcome and a better outcome than could be a better outcome than what you anticipated. That is both for the highest good of that person, the highest good of the team, and the highest good of the organization. And lastly, monitor and follow up. All very critical. So stay centered, get clarity around the reason for the conversation and the outcome, get curious before you get furious, come back to clarity and make sure that you've understood their perspective and their side and their what they'd like to share, and then co-create the solution. And in the end, if necessary, maybe the position isn't the right fit for the person, and they need to either move on to a different position in the organization or move on to another organization. I'd like to hear in the comments below if you've had these courageous conversations and how they went, or if you'd like some more information about how to craft these courageous conversations and how to follow up and encourage accountability in those conversations.